Okay, well, so with just a small amount of heat applied, still rather warm, I was able to get this sleeve to come up. Now this is interesting. I just pulled it straight up, and you can see this little so this sleeve has actually been out and rotated also, because it came up like this, and that hole should have lined up with that hole where it's exposed to elements. Looks like the sleeve is in good condition, so I think we're in good shape there. Let's see if we can just kind of finagle this connecting rod off of here. I don't know if that's going to work or not. See if I can get any kind of movement fore and aft on this connecting rod here. Let me know if that wrist pin is going to want to move at all. It doesn't look like that wrist pin is going to want to move. Wait a minute, let's see here. Yeah, I can see the wrist pin retainer here. It looks like if somebody came in here and did something on the inside of this engine, this is as far as they got. It doesn't look like they were ever actually able to get that connecting rod off. Doesn't look like I'm going to be so lucky either. Well, let me see if I can find a screw, and probably going to have to put some heat on this now again. See if I can free that up a bit more. Okay, so yet again I got lucky. The wrist pin retainer pulled out again. So I just figured, well, what the heck. And I did see the connecting rod was able to move both the directions on the piston there, and I was able to just kind of get it so that it'll just drop right out. Oof, rather warm. Quite warm. So I don't even know if I'm going to want to touch this right now. No, it's really warm. So anyway, that's out, but you can see here, perhaps, the small distance. They've got some pretty substantial bosses on the sides here that don't allow that piston connecting rod to move this direction very much. This thing looks pretty nasty. Wow, that's still really hot. Piston ring is free, so this is just going to get a soak in LA's Totally Awesome Cleaner, and I'm going to have to use my little battery terminal puller to get this off. This thing is probably still rather warm, but I'll give it a shot here. Yeah, wow, that thing is rather warm still. See, with a two-jaw puller like this, it always makes it a little more interesting to... Alright, so this is coming straight off now, not a big deal. Always makes it interesting to keep it centered on there because it just doesn't want to stay.
Well, you still have next year of school that you...
Alright, so that's that. Okay, now it's off. And there's our Woodruff key. Don't want to lose that. So this is odd. It has had bearings replaced, I believe, now, because I don't know that OS would put rubber sealed bearings in an engine. I'm not entirely sure, but I've just never seen that on any stock engine of any make. But now we should be able to get this connecting rod out, or crankshaft out, fairly easily. I'm going to go outside and give it a smack with my rubber mallet while it's still rather warm and see if I can get that out. Okay, so that didn't take much. So here's our crankshaft. Got a little bit of residue on it that's pretty easily wiped off. This is really kind of looking like a fairly low runtime engine to me, which, like I said, is good and bad. You can see that rear bearing's pretty nasty, but feels pretty decent. I don't think I'm going to invest in changing bearings, but I am going to at least try and I don't know, that thing is really nasty looking inside there. I may not change bearings, but I think I still want to get it out just so I can clean it up better and inspect it a little better before putting this thing back together. So let me go see if I can get this bearing out. Put some penetrating 3-in-1 oil in here and heat this baby up and smack it on a piece of wood a few times and see how easily that comes out. Okay, so some considerable heat, some 3-in-1 oil, and 3 smacks on a piece of wood has the bearing out. And I won't touch that thing because it's hotter than blazes, and it's pretty nasty looking on both sides. So I'm going to do what I just did on another bearing. I'm going to drop it in LA's Totally Awesome Cleaner, let it sit for a few minutes and cool, and then I'm going to brush it off, spray it down with alcohol really well, clean it out, and then oil it up and see how it feels after that. Bearings are not expensive, so if it needs to be replaced, it needs to be replaced. This front bearing is a seal bearing. It feels hot. Feels rather good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a lip on it or not. Okay, so at least whoever it was had the presence of mind to keep the seal on the front and open the back up. That bearing, oh wow, that's really hot. Feels good though. So I don't think this bearing is going to get replaced. Where's my crankshaft at? Yeah, that bearing feels fine. Makes no noise whatsoever. I think we're good with that bearing. Alright, so that concludes an inside look at this engine. Now all that's left is for me to clean parts up, especially this crankcase. It's pretty nasty in there. And reassemble it and try running it again. So, thank you for watching.